welcome to my channel, See Mary Make. I'm Mary. So I have been wanting to start a YouTube for a few years now. My kids have kept me pretty busy, but my youngest now, she's 4 now, and pretty independent, doing a lot of things on her own, has her own little routine of what she likes to do during the day and stuff, and I think now is a good time. A little bit about me. I'm 31 years old. I have 3 kids. They are 10, 7, and 4. I have a husband of 10 years, and I love to craft and organize and get a serious real sense of satisfaction when I can fully do a deep clean on a space and declutter and reorganize. I'm constantly decluttering. My channel is going to be a little bit of this and a little bit of that, probably mostly DIYs with like Dollar Tree items or Dollar Tree priced items, so things on the cheaper side. I will probably use a little bit of power tools in my videos, so if you don't have those, there's always alternate ways of doing things. You might find a little cake decorating or baking on here one day, some crafts, organization and decluttering, maybe some cleaning videos, decorating videos. You will probably see all of my kids and my husband at some point in these videos. So I just want to forewarn you, you're going to see little heads bobbing by and feet running by, and there's going to be background noise. I have 3 kids. One is here with me all the time because she's not in school yet, and the other 2 are in person school right now, are in school in person right now, but that could change at any time. So just be aware if you're looking for really put together professionally made videos that have no spontaneity to them, this isn't the place, because that's not going to happen, not for years to come at least. But I'm very excited to be starting this journey, and I hope someone gets some sort of use out of some of my videos. And today, in this video, I'm going to be making a tiered tray purposely for decoration use. This is not going to be sturdy enough to be putting anything heavy on. It's going to be used for like little trinkets for my Christmas decorations when I put those up. And you're also going to see that I make some mistakes in this video and have to redo some things. I am that kind of person. I'm not doing 2 runs on these. When I film these, it's a one-time deal. I get the supplies, I make it on camera. If there's flubs and mess-ups, you're going to see them. You're going to see where I went wrong, and hopefully that'll help some of you know what to avoid doing as well. Alright, I hope you enjoy. Okay, let's start with the supplies you're going to need to make this decorative tiered tray. So first you're going to need 2 dishes or pans of some sort, preferably metal. I bought these at the Dollar Tree. These are oven burner covers, and I originally used these to make this, but ended up having to take it apart and redo it because it was way too flimsy. I instead used this pie pan and cake pan that I also bought at the Dollar Tree for $1 each. Then you will need a rolling pin that I bought at the Dollar Tree. If you can't find that, you can get a dowel or like a small piece of wood from a hardware store.
believe Walmart sells dowels. You'll just want something on the thicker side so that it's strong enough to hold up the top tray without being too wobbly. You will also need a handsaw, and a miter box is helpful but not necessary. If you think you can cut a straight line without it, then you can do that. Then you're also going to need a drill with the attachments, the drill bits. If you don't have a drill, you can always use a screwdriver and a screw. It's a little more elbow grease, but it'll work. Drill is much easier though, and they're not that expensive. You'll also need a tape measure or a ruler. Either one will work. Then you're going to need screws. I have these 3-inch finishing screws, which are honestly totally unnecessary for this project. The length is just a little bit ridiculous, but I had them on hand, so I'm going to use them. Next, if you want to, you can get some paint or some stain for the wood and the trays. I have this Waverly chalk paint on hand, which I'm going to use to make kind of like a faux stain for the wood with the dark brown one, but the lighter one, the cashew color, is, I don't actually end up using that, not in the finished product anyway. You'll need a paintbrush or a sponge and a pencil, and then you're also going to need, which I forgot to mention or show, the little buffing block or a piece of sandpaper and some sort of nice heavy-duty glue like E6000. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut where I have marked where I want the height of, or what I want the height of my rolling pin to be. And I just measured, I picked a spot, measured down to it, and then did that all the way around and just traced the little marks all the way around it. And I'm just going to saw right across that and saw through it. Sorry it's making the camera shake so much. I do move and do it off camera and come back. So once you get that sawed through all the way, you'll just want to go ahead and sand those edges off and make them nice and smooth. You don't want to get splinters or have, you know, the rough edges that are splintering out prevent the glue from sticking well. Even though we're going to screw it together, I like to put glue in it. It's just some extra reinforcement. And I know I'm sanding this part, but I don't actually end up using it. I did originally want to use it to stick it out of the top tray, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I nixed that in the end. But now I am measuring all the way across the circle on the middle and marking the middle point. And I, you know, make sure to double check it a couple times. I mean, I honestly don't think it's going to matter that much if you eyeball it and it's not exactly center on something this small. So next I'm going to use a drill bit that's about the same size as the screws. And I am going to, it's just a little smaller than the screws. And I am going to drill my holes down the center of each side. Make sure you hold it nice and tight when you do this, because if not, it'll just spin with the drill and you'll get nowhere. And you could hurt yourself. And also make sure to put your drill in reverse when you're pulling it back out. Just makes it easier. So once you have these holes drilled, next you're going to paint them, which I didn't want this to be like opaque. So I kind of turned it into a stain, which I didn't show it here, but I added some water to it to thin it out a bunch. And just gave it a quick coat of that. And then I let it dry and I gave it a second coat as well, I believe. Maybe even a third, just depending on how dark you want it and how opaque you want it. And something I did here that you don't need to do is I think I painted see, I'm starting to paint like the ends of it. You don't need to do that because those are going to go against the trays. So I don't know why I started doing that, but I did. So here I am measuring across the center of the bottom of each tray or pan and marking the center as best I can with a tape measure. So what I did is I just did it from several different spots and just tried to gauge where the actual center was. And that's how I did it on both pans. So once you find the center, get it good and marked, then you'll have to put a hole in it. Which I tried using the drill for this. I don't know if I was just scared and not putting enough pressure or if it just wouldn't go through because of the type of drill bits I have. But it wouldn't go through. So you'll see me use quite an unconventional method right here to punch a hole in it. That's just a different drill bit I have. I don't even know what it's called, but it's super pointy. It's for making like larger holes. And so I just use that to stab a hole in the bottom of each one of my pans. Then I put some E6000 on them, and then I put it together and screwed it in. And you'll see me struggling there for a second to get the screw through the pan at first because the hole was like a little bit small. But it worked, and then I'm just going to drill the screw right through the pan and right into the rolling pin. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the top one. Glue first, and then put the pan on it and screw it in from the top. And once again, I'm trying to shove the screw through a little bit so I can get it into the wood. And this is another reason it's just easier to have pre-drilled holes because you can't really see what you're doing from the top with a pan on top of the rolling pin. So now that's screwed in, and like I said, these aren't like great sturdy. So, and here's the finished product with some of my fall decor on it. I did end up painting it, which I don't know what happened. I guess I forgot to hit record, or I thought I did. I ended up trying to make it look kind of like a galvanized metal. But all you do for that is just some paint of a lighter color of gray on a sponge and just dab it on a sponge or a paintbrush and dab it on. And I just did 2 different shades of lighter gray.